Hello, everybody. Let's make sure I'm not muted. That's very important. All right, cool. I hope that I'm coming through loud and clear. Welcome to the 11th online release party. Actually, I don't know if this is the actual 11th one that we've done, but let's just pretend it is. Welcome to the online release party for the 11th single of my 12 songs in 12 months project. Save Myself came out today. The response has been absolutely overwhelming. Like, really, much more than I could have ever anticipated. Because, like, I got like people that I know writing me going, "Yo, man, this song is pretty cool." Not a lot of people that I know write me to say that the new singles are good. So that's a great sign. That's a great sign. So I hope you all have enjoyed listening to it as much as I enjoyed writing it with my good buddy Isaac, who I probably should have invited to be here tonight, but I've been so busy it totally slipped my mind to reach out to him. So Isaac, if you're watching, I'm sorry I didn't invite you. Anyways, as you can see, we're off to a great start because we've got Mara here. Mara is always a great sign. Yeah. So like always, the plan is to kick back. Well, I'm not going to have a drink, but I hope you guys have drinks. Kick back, have a few drinks, listen to the brand new single, watch some other music videos. You know how we do it. I think this is the 11th. I think this is the 9th one. I think we either started with Party Monster or we started with Automaton. I think Automaton was the first one. So, yeah, now I think that would make this the 7th. No, I can't do math. That would make this the 9th. That would make this the 9th one. The new single is good, even in the German dance charts on iTunes. Yes, that is. I haven't checked the chart positions in the last couple of hours, but the last time I checked, I think it was like at 60 or something, and it debuted this morning at 45, which I think is great. As you pointed out, it's not in the rock or alternative charts, but you guys know that I dictate which charts it goes into, right? Like, I'm the one that chooses the genre, and so that determines which charts it goes into. So, some of the songs, the more rock or some of the more like guitar driven songs, I put into the metal charts, and then other ones that were like more rock, like Party Monster, I put in the rock charts, and then a lot of the other things I made alternative, like Dead Zone and Bark at the Moon, because it's not dance, right? They're not like club songs. So yeah, I hope I didn't miscalculate that, but whatever. I'm having tacos in your honor. That is great. That is awesome. I love tacos. I miss tacos. Everybody should eat tacos for every meal of the day. Somebody should invent taco cereal so that I can just eat tacos for breakfast and like pour milk on them. That'd probably be disgusting. I'm drinking Glühwein. Now that is nice. Isn't it a little early for Glühwein? It's interesting though, because what did I read yesterday? Something that like the Mariah Carey song "All I Want for Christmas Is You" has already entered like the Billboard charts on November 1st, which is just the earliest entry in the Billboard charts for the Christmas season for that song. And I go to the grocery store and cat hair. I go to the grocery store and it's just like the largest Christmas displays ever. And they, they even had those up before Halloween. And I'm just like, I really feel like they're trying to make Christmas come earlier and earlier every year. But the fact that like regular people are, streaming Christmas music already just feels, I don't know, feels not right. But Glühwein is good. It's cold outside, so I think that's justification enough to drink some Glühwein. I wish I had Glühwein right now, but as I said, it's November. I don't drink in November. Try to detoxify from, the Halloween celebrations, and then like prepare my body for the Thanksgiving and Christmas celebrations. So I'll probably eat way too many terrible things and drink too many terrible things all throughout December. But yeah, I always start drinking again on Thanksgiving, which seems like the appropriate day to start drinking again. But I tell you, I always start this with like the best intentions. I'm always like telling myself like, oh yeah, you're not even going to want to drink. Like it's fine. Cause when you start it, you're like, yeah, I've had enough. I've had enough alcohol. And then, a couple of days later when you're super stressed from work and all that other kind of stuff, you're just like, I just want to fucking drink. Just like, just like one beer or just a big glass of wine. That would be enough, but it's against the rules and I don't break the rules. What's really going to be interesting, though, is that I'm going to Germany in 2 weeks, and I got to fly. So I have to fly sober, and then I have to get off the plane and go to a club and DJ sober. So that's definitely going to be fun. Ooh, I hate Christmas music even before Halloween or Christmas anything. I'm not the guy to tell that to. I am the biggest Christmas fan like ever. Like I love the shit out of Christmas. It's the most wonderful time of the year. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care how many goth points I lose. Christmas rules. Christmas is everything. It's just funny because I'm not religious, right? Like I don't believe in any of the religious stuff with Christmas, but boy howdy do I love Christmas. I love it. Wo legst du auf? Ich lege in, wie heißt es? Es ist nicht Kulttempel, sondern Kultkeller. Ich lege in Kultkeller in Duisburg auf. Es heißt Plusfeld Stammtisch und Isaac ist auch natürlich dabei. Er macht einen Akustikset und dann lege ich später auf. I wonder how come metal has like the only permission to have lyrics about real feelings in the state of the world nowadays. I don't think that that's true at all. So much music is talking about real issues, just not most industrial music, because most industrial music is terrible. It's all just stuff about like how evil. Oh God, like I'm so over all the serial killer, like, oh, all that serial killer stuff. I'm over it. It's like, just look how evil I am. Oh my God, I'm so perverted. I hate God. I'm an atheist and I don't like music about how much people hate God. It's so boring and tired. Sing about something real. I feel like all these people just write music like that because they're too afraid to write anything like legitimately serious, right? Like they're too afraid to actually dig into themselves to create anything like actually artistic. So they're just like evil. Ugh. Oh, I wish I could pronounce your name. Thank you for the Thank you for the rubles. What? Is that in Sanskrit? Thank you. Gibt es noch Karten für den Stammtisch, meinst du, ja? Denke ich. Ich glaube, dass es gibt keinen Vorverkauf. Aber ich bin mir nicht sicher. Schau mal bei der Pluswelt-Seite. Ja. Aber ich glaube, dass es keinen Vorverkauf gibt. What's your take on the Brandon song? I don't know what the Brandon song is. What is the Brandon song? Do I need to Google it? Oh, God. I don't even want to touch that. I am not even going to listen to that song. No way. The original Silent Night came out of Austria. Yes, that is true. Me and the fam gather around every year and sing Stille Nacht. They do their 3 or 4 verses in German, and then they always want me to sing like the English American version, which for some reason like I get really shy and nervous about. Hating God was effective somewhere in the 80s. Now it's nothing special. Look, like that's the thing. You have to like read the room. Like you have to know what's going on in the zeitgeist, right? Like what Throbbing Gristle were doing, what Skinny Puppy was doing, you know, all of that stuff was transgressive. It was shocking. There was like a point to it. You know, it was like really pushing back on the status quo of the day. And I understand why that was important. But now all of these new bands have like just taken all of these tropes. They've turned them into tropes. They've taken all of these things that were transgressive 30 or 40 years ago. And then they've just turned them into a trope, into a costume. And nobody is scared of or shocked by that anymore. Like, it's just, I understand that you can't like, okay. I know that you can't make a blanket statement like, oh, dousing yourself in fake blood is always stupid and never transgressive or artistically interesting, whatever. I'm not saying that. But, you know, for the most part, putting on some clothes that you bought at Hot Topic or Extra or whatever, putting on some silly corpse paint that looks like you belong in a black metal band, and then like screaming through a distortion pedal about how evil you are and how much you hate God, that makes people laugh today, right? You bring a normal person into that concert and they laugh. They don't get scared. They don't go, oh my God, my values, my conservative values, everything that I thought was true is now a lie or whatever. Like, they don't get scared. They just snicker and go, this is fucking stupid, because it's fucking stupid. You know, art needs to evolve with the moment, with the time. And if you are not conscious of that, then you just end up becoming like a parody of, well, everything. I have a last question. Is it weird that I'm watching this while playing old school RuneScape? I don't know what that is, but I don't think it's weird. You do you. I don't judge. Any chance of a Christmas album? I can't do Christmas music, but it would be cool to see what you do with it. Well, it's funny that you would mention that, because next month's single. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But just like Dare Carl pointed out, time for something different. How about we listen to the brand new single? I think everybody who is going to show up has shown up. And if we have any late stragglers, well, tough luck. All right, guys. If you haven't heard it yet, here it is. This is Save Myself, featuring my good buddy, Isaac Howlett of Empathy Test. All right. If you haven't heard it yet, now you have. I see a number of you dropping a few bucks into the super chat. Thank you very much. I just want to remind you that if you want to support Aesthetic Perfection and actually get something in return, you know, aside from music, we have an amazing community over on the Imperfect Society Patreon. Not only do you get to be part of an amazing community, access to the super secret merchandise, access to the private Instagram, access to a whole host of other things. The Discord. Yes, the Discord. Right. Yes. You also get awesome rewards like live streams, monthly blogs about little tidbits of history that I never share in public. And, of course, things like personalized jingles and signed art prints, all the good stuff. And, you help keep Aesthetic Perfection going. All the people here who are Patreon supporters know how deeply grateful I am for everything that you guys do. This project would have never been possible without you. All right, that's my spiel. But if you want to still throw money into the chat, you can. I turned it on because people requested it, but Patreon really is the best way to support Aesthetic Perfection because you actually get something back. All right. I'm going to answer this question in English because it's difficult to answer in German, but also because I think people who are non-German speakers will also find this interesting. I would like to know how satisfied you are with this project. I personally find it mega super awesome, and I will miss it very, very much. I think this project has been probably the most important, like, artistic endeavor of my entire life. Like, I'm super glad that I did it. I was saying yesterday on Facebook that I learned so much about myself, not just as a person, but as an artist. Or actually not as the other way around. I learned so much about myself, not only as an artist, but also as a person. And I think it sort of like revealed to me so many of these mental blocks that were getting in the way of me enjoying being creative, me finishing songs that I've been working on. It forced me to just sort of accept that things will never be perfect and that all you can really do is just give your all, give 100% in the moment, and then that's it. Then it belongs to the universe, and the universe gets to decide whether or not it's good. It's not my job. It's not my obligation to figure out what you guys are going to do with that. And I think a lot of artists spend a lot of time struggling trying to get the world to view them the way that they want to be viewed, instead of just letting the art speak for itself and then letting people interpret that however they see fit. Because that's really the most important thing about art, is that it is subjective, and whatever it means to me is irrelevant. All that matters is what it means to the individual who's consuming it, and that's enough. And I've really enjoyed working on this project, but I'm glad it's over. I'm so glad it's over. Are you a gamer? I don't know why everybody always asks me that. Do I look like a gamer? Do I seem like somebody who would be a gamer? No, I'm not a gamer. At like, if you can call like playing a couple of rounds of free-for-all on Call of Duty, if you call that being a gamer, like I'll do that, once a day or every other day, just to sort of unwind, or I'll play Mario Kart, right? Like I don't like narrative-based games. They make me very, very unhappy and stressed and uncomfortable. Like I tried to play stuff like when I was a kid, like I got Final Fantasy, and I got any kind of like campaign or story-based game, I just hate because I have to play it up until a certain point, and I sort of have to play, like, the levels are always the same. Like they don't change. This is what I like about Mario Kart, or what I like about free-for-all, is like there's always sort of the variable of the other players, and even if it's a CPU, it feels more random. It's like each time you play it, it's different, and you can play it in short bursts. Like you can play for 10 minutes and then you're done, or you can play for 2 hours if you want. But you get to dictate how long you want to play, and that's it. But like in a narrative or campaign-based game, it's like you have to play until the save point. And then if you die or whatever and you lose all your progress, that shit would make me insane. Hate it. Hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it. I can't even tell you how much I love this track and also how gutted I'm going to be when this project is over. Well, don't worry. Of course, I'm going to be releasing all of these songs as a super limited edition album. I'm going to be printing as many copies. I'm going to be printing as many CDs as there are Patreon supporters. So on December 31st, on New Year's Eve, I'm going to count all of the Patreon supporters. I'm going to order exactly that many CDs, and those are going to be available to patrons first. And whatever's left over will be made available to the general public. I'm assuming there will probably be like, I don't know, 100, 150 left over. So, yeah, if you want to get on that, if you want to ensure that you get a CD, sign up for Patreon. You can do it for as little as like $20 a year. And there's going to be like B-sides, right? So these aren't the only songs I've written this year. I've got some other things up my sleeve. There's going to be some unreleased stuff on that album. And I'm thinking really long and hard about what I want to do after this. Some part of me is feeling very, very tired and like I never want to write music again, but then some other part of me is just super inspired to do something completely different. So we'll see. We'll see. I think once I have a break from all this and some distance, it'll become more clear. Guys, join Patreon. It's really great. Thank you, Ada. Casual gamer. Yeah, I mean. You kind of look like a gamer. All right. Fair enough. Is it the gloves? Is it my gamer gloves? I mean, really the thing about me is that I don't have hobbies, right? Like, I don't really have other interests aside from music. So I don't know. Just every time I'm doing something that isn't music, I mostly feel like it's a waste of time. Unless it's like eating good food or drinking good wine or good beer. I'm just like, meh. Based on your criteria, you would not like RuneScape at all. That's probably true. Will there be any different versions of any of the tracks? Well, if I can fit all the remixes that were released this year, I will include them on the CD. It depends on the length of the CD. I haven't really like talked about this publicly outside of Patreon, but I'm working on a super special version of A New Drug, which I think is just friggin' incredible. It's called the International Cartel version. I guess I'll let you guys sort of try to figure out what that actually means. But it's dope. It's really dope. Any chance for an EU tour? No. No. And I'll tell you why. We talked about doing a tour in spring this year, but the constantly changing rules and regulations between countries make it impossible to plan anything long term. You have to keep in mind that like each EU member state has their own governments and they have their own borders, and they can decide to open and shut them at will. And they can also decide to change the regulations concerning large gatherings and all of that kind of stuff, which just makes it almost impossible to try to plan something like a 5 or 6 week tour a year in advance. That's how long it usually takes to plan a tour. 6 months if you're going to really rush. And you have to remember that, let's say you're playing in Germany one night and then you want to go to Belgium the next day, but then Belgium closes their borders. Well, then now your show is canceled and you've just probably lost a couple €1,000. And what happens if somebody in the touring party gets sick? Which is bound to happen because breakthrough cases are becoming more and more common. So the whole sort of tour shuts down as soon as there's a breakthrough case. And that's 4, 5, 6 days off the road until you can resume. How's that going to work? You're talking 10, 20, 30,000 euros coming out of the budget, which is not something that like a band like me can afford. Tours were not profitable before COVID, and then now like post COVID, it just gets more and more expensive. I think the name of the game really for the future is going to be one-offs or like weekend tours. So actually what Empathy Test is doing is incredibly clever. And I think that's going to be sort of the future of touring in Europe for the foreseeable future. You plan a couple of shows, Friday, Saturday, maybe Sunday, you go and you play them, and then you come home. You don't bring in international crew. You don't bring in international band members, like anything like that. You play your show. You surround yourself with locals, and then that's sort of like how it works. Because if somebody does get sick, all right, well, fine, you've lost 1 or 2 shows, but you're not paying for a tour bus. You're not paying for hotel rooms. You just can turn around and go home. So I think that's going to be the name of the game for the future. I'm considering what my options are next year, but basically I'm just trying to get through this year before I sort of like take on these larger projects. But I will be going through with the shows that are planned for next year. So we've got a couple of gigs in Germany in April. We've got some summer festival gigs, and I'm absolutely going to do them. Just got to figure out how. Will there be a vinyl version? Yes, there will be a vinyl version, but here's the big but. Vinyl pressing plants are taking 1 year to fulfill orders. So I'm going to place the order for the vinyl in January, and it's going to come out in January 2022. Great, right? Will you still have the opportunity to work with Zwalle? I don't know. I've made no secret about the fact that I love Sebastian. I think he's the greatest guitarist I've ever had the pleasure of working with. He's one of the coolest dudes that I've ever had the pleasure of getting to know. But he lives in Sweden. And so it makes keeping a local crew, like, you start bringing in international people and it gets very, very difficult. So I would love to work with Sebastian again in that kind of capacity, but I think for trying to build a local band and crew, like it's just not feasible for the time being, because your shows get canceled. Now you got to fly somebody home. You got to put them up in hotel rooms instead of just everybody getting in a van and driving back to the same place. It's really hard for me to sort of articulate to all of you guys who don't tour regularly. It's expensive, and it gets expensive very, very fast when you're dealing with folks who are not from like the immediate region. It just like inflates the budget immediately. I've seen a number of bands toying with live stream shows. Have you explored that as an option? Yeah, I've said this a couple of times, but I guess ooh, pepper. I guess it bears repeating again. I hate live stream shows. I think it is so awful. Look, I've seen a lot of bands do it, And I think that, with a really high level production, it looks cool. It sounds cool. It's not that I don't think that there are ways of doing it where it's interesting. However, it is not an actual replacement for a live concert. Because what is a live concert? Why do you go to concerts? You go to concerts not just to hear the music, but to feel the music through the speakers, to be shoulder to shoulder with other people who are passionate about the same music that you are. It is really a tribal, very tribal, primal experience. And I don't think that watching a band play on a screen while you're in your pajamas, blasting it through your laptop speakers, that is not a fitting replacement for what that experience is. It's something else that's cool. It's more like a music video, but it's not a live show, at least in sort of my opinion. So given the fact that I live on the countryside, a million miles away from, my band, a million miles away from any sort of like studio, or, at the beginning of this pandemic, I had terrible internet. Like all my live streams would constantly crash and drop out. I decided to do what I could, what was possible to do here. And I was like, well, look, I've got my studio. I don't need anybody else. I can make these songs from home. I can shoot all of the artwork in my bedroom, which I did. Like every single image that was taken for the artwork this year was taken in my bedroom with my iPhone, except for the Save Myself artwork, which is a composite of a picture of Isaac and I, like existing pictures. But in general, it's like everything was done here by me. And now as the world opens up again, I feel inspired to sort of branch out and see what else I can continue to do. But I just don't feel like a live concert is worth my time. That I feel like there's a better investment of my time and energy. And when it's, safe and feasible to play live again, then I'll do it. And then that experience gets to come back. And you're not trying to sell somebody. You're not trying to sell your fans snake oil, right? I don't actually believe that like bands are trying to like cheat their fans out of money, but what I mean is that you're selling a live show. It's not a live show. It's something else. $2023, you mean for the vinyl? Yes, sorry, 2023. Yes, it's going to take 1 year to manufacture that vinyl. I know. But the pre-orders will happen in January. Maybe it'll be a special version with 2 more songs. The actual version of the album will have extra songs on it. Yes. Is there a minimum tier of patrons for the CD offer? I'm sorry if you said it, just logged in. No, you have access to the Imperfect Society merchandise section of the store, which means you can get all the sort of secret t-shirts and hoodies and tank tops and coffee mugs and all that other kind of stuff that nobody else gets access to. And that includes the pre-order for the new album, which I have not publicly announced the name of, but patrons know. Yeah, there's no limit to that. So even if you sign up for $2 a month, you 100% get access to that, as well as a bunch of other stuff. You get access to the Instagram. You get access, to the store. You get access to the secret Discord channel. So you get a lot for $20 in a year or $2 a month. Speaking of the April shows, how are they going to work out if you can't get international members over here and you don't have a replacement for former members? Welcome to my dilemma that I have been procrastinating and don't want to solve just yet because I've been busy writing a song every single month. I will solve this issue, but I'm going to try and solve it in the way that I just described. What is your favorite way to listen to music? It's really funny as somebody who like cares so much about audio quality. I listen to music on my phone. I'm so bad. I'm so terrible. Like I will walk around the house with my phone in my pocket and I'll like be blasting music. It's so stupid, so terrible. And I have a Bluetooth speaker which sounds really good, but sometimes I just can't be bothered to fucking turn it on, which is really stupid. But if I'm really gonna like listen to music, I turn on the Bluetooth speaker or I listen to it in my car. I actually just got a record player. And, the idea is to build up a collection of all my favorite records, the records that I can listen to front to back. Thank you, Roz. I listen to those. I listen to like my favorite records on those. And I always thought people were full of shit when they were talking about how great records sound. I mean, records sound really, really good. So, if I could listen to everything on a record player, I guess I probably would, but it just seems so impractical. Grüße aus der Schweiz. Grüße zurück von deinem Nachbarn in Österreich. Good old notebook stand shows. How likely is it that you are going to be in Berlin in May? Like I said, the current plan is to follow through with all shows that have been booked and announced for next year. So, how about we listen to some music? How about right now? Supernatural. I'm surprised. Oh, now it moves. Key. We've been at this. We're almost over. We're almost done, and we've only listened to 2 songs. This is very. I was trying to find some way to say this is supernatural, but unnatural. It's abnormal. During the break, I ate 2 moncherie. I don't know if that counts as breaking my sobriety. I guess you guys have to tell me if that was okay. I don't feel drunk. I just feel like there's too much sugar in those things. Sometimes I tell myself that your character, would be ideal in the cinemas. It's nice to know that other people feel that way too, because I feel like I would be great in movies. I would be. I don't know. I've been doing the I've been doing the voiceovers for this web series called XRL7, and it's just been my dream for such a long time to do sort of voice acting, especially for animated shows, because it just really allows you to, I don't know, just talk in a way that is not like a real person. You just get to use all of your different voices. Yeah, so I mean, when I was young, I wanted to be an actual actor, and then I discovered music, and then I decided I wanted to be a musician. But yeah, I was the person in all the school plays and stuff like that, and I just feel comfortable in most sort of acting situations. I think I couldn't do high drama. I don't know how well it would work if I had to cry on command, but I think for most things it would be all right. I wouldn't worry too much. But then watch I get some role and I just suck. So who knows? But I would love to do voice acting. Voice acting would just be so much fun, and I've had so much fun creating this character for the XRL7 series. Your music videos are always so good. Your use of lighting to create different moods and effects is unreal. Hey, don't give me credit for that. That was all Lisa. Lisa did all of the lighting for that, and then she came up with the idea of filming through an actual prism. So she was shooting all these different scenes while waving a prism in front of the lens. I mean, it was incredible what she was able to do. We were just literally in a black room that was filled with smoke, and she just created that out of it. So don't give me any credit for the way that video looks, because that was all Lisa. She's insanely talented. If you could get into acting, who would you want to work with as far as actors? I don't know. As somebody who's been in the music business so long and has had the misfortune of meeting so many of his heroes, I don't want to meet any of my heroes anymore. They're all awful. They're all terrible people. So I think I would just much rather work with people who are awesome. And I don't know who's awesome, so I'll just say awesome people. Oh, Cat, your eyes look demonic. I want to do a voiceover. How do you get into it? The guy who was doing the show was actually recommended to me by somebody, and then he went and checked out my music and was like, "Oh yeah, that guy would be good for this character, Debbie Divine." And so he let me create the voice, which was just really, really fun, and he's supposed to be kind of an arrogant music producer, and I guess the character is even based off of me in terms of his look. I mean, he's got hair, but I was just thinking about this is what's so fun about like voiceover work, at least the way that I would imagine it, is if I get to do it this way all the time. But so he's supposed to be a very arrogant music producer, and being from LA, like I've met my fair share of music producers, and I know how horribly douchey they can be. So I tried to take sort of the attitude of like LA producers and then give it like a Valley Girl voice, so like, oh my God, like, who the hell do you think you are? And so then I just got to like put some like a little bit of distortion on it, and then you're just like, then you get Debbie Divine, and it was just so natural and easy, and I was like, oh my God, it was so fun. So it was really fun, to like become this character and create his voice, and I don't know, I'd love to do it again. It was a lot of fun. Do you still have the Lego Yoda clock? I do not. And I'll tell you what happened to the Lego Yoda clock. So, it was a white elephant gift exchange around Christmas time, like right after I moved back to LA. So this must have been like 9 or 10 years ago. And me and one of my best friends, Steve, who's a tattoo artist, he's amazing. Check him out on Instagram. Steven Sikos, Cikos, and he he opened the Yoda Lego clock, and he wanted it so bad. But we went back. If you know how White Elephant works, like you can steal up to 3 times or something like that. And I ended up stealing it away from him. And he was so bummed. He was so unhappy that I won the clock. And so when I moved back to Europe, I gave him the clock. I was like, you've waited so long to have this, and so I gave it back to him. Thank you for your music. Thank you very much for listening to it, Saskia. Like, oh my God. Yeah. Well, you are my hero. If I met you, would you not be? I don't know. But let's put it this way. My persona is quite close to who I am in real life, because it's very important to me to maintain that like level of authenticity. But I also sort of went through my asshole phase, like I used to think that I was like the coolest motherfucker around, and it took sort of falling on my ass and just looking like an idiot a million times and having people hate me that I realized that was absolutely not the way forward. I always tried to be nice to fans, but I don't know. I was always just sort of like entitled, and I was like really mean to people at like venues, so like crew, colleagues, all of that kind of stuff. Like I just had a reputation for being a dick because I was being a dick. But my sort of fan interaction was inspired by one of my favorite artists, like this guy from Germany. I'm not going to name him, but he was like my favorite band growing up, and he released an album and he put his AOL screen name like in the liner notes. So I'm dating myself here because this was like 23 years ago. Oh, hi, Kia. And so like he put his AOL screen name in the liner notes of his record. And so I fucking wrote him. And every time I did, he was just like a complete prick. And, like one time he was just like, I don't have any fucking time for you, or something, like, I don't know, whatever. And it's like, I get it. We all have bad days. We all have short moments, but like that like really soured me on him. And so my biggest musical inspiration became like my biggest inspiration on how not to behave with your fans. 'Cause I was just like, look, even if you're having a bad day, do your best to be nice to people, because, it's not their fault you're having a bad day. And if somebody is just coming up to you to be like, yo, I like your music, don't be a dick to them, as long as they're not crossing any lines, right? Like, you know, there are those people that will like come up to you, while you're pissing at a urinal or something, and be like, hey, bro, look down, like, hey, like your band. Yeah, as long as people aren't crossing a line, it's all right. Do you do meet and greets? Yes, we have done meet and greets. I don't know if we're going to be doing meet and greets in the future because of all of this. And as I said before, like, it's really, really important to prevent getting sick because it's just a very, very expensive mistake. The way you interact with us on Discord is like any other singer out there. And you know, it's funny. I often like ask myself, like, am I engaging enough? Because some days, I'm just like tired and I don't go online as much as I feel like I should. And then I feel bad. I'm like, I'm not like around enough. So I hope I'm around enough. I guess I would be too shy to talk to you at the Stammtisch. I always think as a DJ, you concentrate on the set and don't have time for talks. That's correct. That's the thing. Don't talk to people while they're working. Afterwards, like, if I'm walking around, if I'm chatting with people, if I'm at the bar, absolutely come up, say hi. Don't be the person that comes up to the DJ booth and they're like yelling at you from like a meter away, because like you're in the table and like they're far away and they're like, and the music is like so loud and you're like, what? And you're like, what? And then you just go like, yeah, sure. And then, you have no idea what they said. So, use common sense, but I'm always nice. Did that actually ever happen to you? Yeah, I've met a lot of assholes. I've met a lot of terrible people. I'll tell you that. The queen left. Time for bed. Queen's here. Queen here. But actually, time's up. We're done. Wow. Guys, we're already at the end. But how about we listen to Save Myself just one more time? Just for old time's sake, just for new time's sake. What do you think? Hey, can you play? No. Yeah, that's the one thing I don't do. I don't take requests because I don't have what people want. People are always like, hey, can you play Alien Vampires? I'm just like, I don't have that shit. Get out of here. I ain't playing Alien Vampires. All right. Is that all right? Is that how I'm going to end it? All right. Guys, thank you. See, I have two Mon Cherie and I'm just wasted. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for following me on this insane musical endeavor of mine. I know it has been a roller coaster of sounds and styles and emotions and everything. I feel like I really kind of threw caution to the wind here and just did whatever came to mind without thinking twice about it, which was really just so artistically freeing and enjoyable. And I know I've said this before, but I think that I'm one of the luckiest musicians in the world because so many artists out there don't have the freedom to just explore whatever kind of inspiration they could possibly have because, they have a fan base that doesn't keep an open mind, right? A band tries something new and then all of a sudden their fan base turns on them and you guys, you're just down. You're just down for it. So, even if I make something that isn't your favorite, because obviously I've been trying so many different things, like, of course you're not going to like everything. But 99.99% of you guys are just like, hey man, that wasn't my bag, but can't wait for next month because I know that something coming down the pipeline is going to be for me. And, the fact that I have an audience that knows to expect the unexpected and not bite my head off for making a song that they don't like is just, it is incredible. It is a truly, truly humbling and amazing feeling. So I am so thankful for all of you guys, especially you Patreon supporters. I know I say it every time, a million times, but this would have never been possible without you. So thank you for all of your support. Guys, we've only got one more. Somehow we made it through. One more to go. All right. I wish you guys all an amazing, amazing weekend. You guys take care. For the last time, it is Save Myself.
The skies are heavy gray. The clouds will blow away. The roads are wet with rain. Shake myself awake again. I'd love to save you. I'd love to save you. I'd love to save you, but I'm already trying to save myself. Trying to save myself. The clock's ticking away. It's not long before I'm gray. Such sweet eternity, and I've got no time for sympathy. I love to save you. I love to save you. I love to save you, but I'm already trying to save myself. Trying to save myself. Trying to save myself. More dark days are coming. Can't save you. I'm sorry. More dark days are coming. Can't save you. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to save myself. Trying to save myself. Trying to save myself. Trying to save myself. Trying to save myself.
Thank you so much, everybody. Y'all have a great weekend. We'll see you next time. Bye.